May dagdag na paraan laban sa COVID-19. Together, we can be the Solusyon Plus. Bida Plus sa maayos na daloy ng hangin. Bida Plus sa maikling pisikal na interaksyon. Bida Plus sa pagsuporta sa bakuna. Bida Plus sa mga kwento ng kaligtasan sa Bida Barangay. Sa dagdag na pag-iingat, maraming buhay ang maliligtas. Bida Solusyon Plus laban sa COVID-19.
Organic acai has very high levels of antioxidants and essential nutrients that help keep your immune system strong. Organique acai premium blend and freeze-dried capsules daily to help increase your resistance against harmful viruses. Keep yourself and your family healthy and protected with Organique.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Organic Acai Premium Blended Freeze-Dried Capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Of all the tough decisions you have to make today, your family's health doesn't have to be one of them. Not when you have the choice to go organic and live full, natural, and holistic lives. So start your day right. Load up on antioxidants. Choose only organic superfoods. And keep the momentum going. We're making it easy for you. Live organic, choose organic. It's easier than you think.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Organic Acai Premium Blended Freeze-Dried Capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Previously on Wellness Wednesdays.
So, pwede siyang ma-present sa day vaccine. And then, yun nga, no, ang kinakailangan mo lang, and kung hindi, ang parang ang pangit naman sabihin na, kung hindi nyo talaga ay,
Wellness Wednesdays with Organique. We care because you matter.
Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So before we get into this week's episode, I invite you all to visit our Facebook page here at Organique Inc. and play our new Facebook game. So this game is a bit different. It's a Guess What Am I game. So, guess what am I? A little purple mixed with brown. I'm the healthy alternative to the daily cup you down, a morning must, punch with the exotic. This will surely be your new everyday favorite. So, comment your answers on this post, and then you get a chance to win isang acai capsules na freeze-dried powder of 30, the bottle of 30 capsules. So you can comment while this episode is still going on, and then at the end of the episode, we're gonna announce all of our winners. So right into today's episode. Today's episode is actually gonna be talking about living with Alzheimer's. So for this episode, we're going to have Dr. Sunny Valoria. Now, Dr. Sunny here is a integrative medicine specialist and wellness expert. So, Doc Sunny, welcome.
Hello, Luisa. Good afternoon, and it's a rainy Wednesday. Is it?
Very rainy. Actually, Doc, because of the weather, I'm having some colds ngayon. So, if you could just excuse me if I start using a tissue.
Oh, you should take 1/4 cup of acai berry 4 times a day.
Oh, Doc, sorry. I think we're having a bit of technical difficulty. Parang walang boses. I can't really hear you, Doc.
Ganon again. Yes.
Doc? Okay, so, Doc, wow, we're talking about Alzheimer's today. I think one of the most important parts about this segment is going to be the fact is just helping all of us understand ano ba yung Alzheimer's. Kasi, you know, for example, that it's for the usually the elderly and then my memory loss, but you know, we have to tackle things such as, is it fatal, my cousin ba siya, or is it random? Mga ganon. So, Doc, I'll just wait for your
well, actually,
I'll wait for your volume to come back on because we can't really hear you on our side.
Did you know in 19? Yeah.
Unfortunately, Doc, we can't hear you. So to our audience,
in 1950, 60, 70.
Really
Hello? Yeah. Well, actually, Alzheimer's disease is a progressive disease which involves the memory loss, which could be gradual, and then inability to do their daily basic activities, just minding their bowel movement, urination, hindi nila nararamdaman na yan, no? And then inability to recognize time and space, as well as problem with speaking, reading, or even writing. All those things are gone already, and it is a progressive disease, usually bothering those more than 60 years of age. And it can even go, even at a younger age, it can happen. Huh? That's actually Alzheimer's disease. No? And now they found out this is now becoming very, very common, particularly because of the different risk factors that goes with it. No?
Okay. Doc, sorry, I have to apologize. I think I was interrupting you kanina. Parang the issue is more with my audio. Anyways, so yeah, you were saying, you know, memory loss. But what are other kinds of symptoms na you know, we can see with Alzheimer's?
Well, they cannot they can be disoriented. They cannot identify the time or the place where they are. No, nawawala sila. No, they are not able to do their daily activities, even brushing their teeth. Hindi na nila alam kung paano gagawin yun. Their bowel movement or urination, they can do it anywhere uninhibited. And there are even personality behavior changes, like being aggressive, walking incessantly, and then even talking and all those stuff that normal person does not do all the time. No, They can have problem on their speaking, reading, or even on writing, or even para silang nagiging robot na. That's the best description, no? Even if you give them some command, they cannot follow it at all.
So, Doc, ano yung difference between Alzheimer's and then, for example, dementia? Kasi yung symptoms that you just mentioned sound like they can be a bit more general when it comes to mental health.
Yes. Actually, Alzheimer's is also a form of senile dementia, which is already deterioration with the brain itself. But in the case of Alzheimer's, from the studies, they found that there is brain atrophy, which is lumility to brain itself, no? Nawawala ng substance of brain. And then there are also some instances that they have found excess deposits or deposit of aluminum and zinc, no? That's why they are correlating it, although it's still unfounded. This aluminum is really the cause of Alzheimer's, but still unfounded. But they're doing more research on that. Pero in natural medicine, they try to correlate that about Alzheimer's in relation to a deposit of aluminum they found out upon the autopsy of patient with Alzheimer's.
Okay. So yung cause sa Alzheimer's, Doc, is aluminum. May ibang causes ba? Or I know you said, there isn't really a main cause.
It can be related also, no? It can be, was there a history of stroke before? There could be, as I mentioned, aluminum deposits. No? And there could also be something like, you also have to consider other risk factors, no? Like sedentary lifestyle. Ang pasyente pa yung umiinom all the time. And obesity or smoking, uncontrolled blood sugar, high cholesterol always, or hypertension, no? And these are somewhat risk factors, meaning risk factors, they were, Alzheimer's are found to be more on this type of patients who are into this, no? Lack of exercise, obesity, and so forth, no? And then, of course, aging. Habang tumatanda ang pasyente, mas laki ang probability na maaari siyang magkaroon ng Alzheimer, no? And then, is there a history, particularly if any of the relative, particularly sister or brother, either cousins, no? And then carrying certain genes, like in Down syndrome, they found out there's a high tendency to have the Alzheimer's disease, no? I mentioned already about the lack of exercise, obesity, smoking, hypertension, high cholesterol, uncontrolled diabetes. Those are also risk factors na maaaring magka-contribute. Pag pinagsama-sama mo yan, mas malaking chance na mag-develop ka ng Alzheimer's disease.
So, Doc, sa aging, I know we say that yung matanda, that really get Alzheimer's. What age are we looking at na may risk na?
Usually 17 up, no? Kasi malaking correlation nga ng senile dementia. Sa Tagalog, we call it ulyanin. Kapag nagkakatanda na, ulyanin, no? Pagdating 80s, 90s, no? May sinasabi ng ulyanin. Pero alam mo, there's a strong correlation with the mental exercise. What do you mean by mental exercise? If you have physical exercise, you also have to do mental exercise. Kaya nakita, they found out mas nagiging mababang memory after the retirement period. After they retire, they do not do much anymore. And yung mag-crossword puzzle, even pagko-computer, that can help also as a form of mental exercise for them.
Oh, I see. So, dapat when we retire, it doesn't just mean, that we're always relaxing and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, Doc, how do I know for sure na, my lola or lolo has Alzheimer's? Ano ba yung test to determine?
Well, actually, it's the behavior is very, very important, no? There are measures because there are type na, of course, yung the first na makikita yung memory. Ibig sabihin, bakit natin nakakagawa siya particularly, hindi siya malilimutin. Just like yung sinabing simple na hanap ng salamin. Yung pala'y nasa ulo na niya, nakakabit, no? As simple as that. Kung nagiging more frequent yung activities like that, no? Hanap ng susi ng kotse, samantalang doon niya lang pinatong, no? Or yung sabihin natin, they cannot identify anymore yung pangalan ng tao, even at a younger age, kung saan siya located, or even the time, the more frequent it is, the more chance na nagkakaroon siyang, it's either senile dementia nga, or it can be in Alzheimer's. Pero when you come to the laboratory, CT scan or MRI is important kasi nakita from the studies na nagkakaroon ng brain atrophy. Meaning brain atrophy, lumiliit yung brain mass nila. So, pag nakita yung CT scan or MRI, that's a probability na maaaring meron siyang Alzheimer's. Or neurological function test, meaning yung reflexes, yung balance senses, and other things are being measured na if it is abnormal, in him, it can also be leading to Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm. So, Doc, parang, from the test, it's more neurological than psychological, no, yung Alzheimer's. Is that correct, Doc?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what makes is dementia then,
yes,
Doc?
I would like to also emphasize, no?
Sorry, go ahead, Doc. You can finish what you were saying.
Alam mo yung yung behavior, attitude ng pasyente is also very, very important. No? You can see some movies. I have seen some movies that Alzheimer patients are somewhat shown to be aggressive. No? They can be, sabihin natin, apathetic also. There are times that depressed sila, and then there is social withdrawal. So these are important parameters to make up a diagnosis ng Alzheimer's. That's to differentiate for your ordinary senile dementia. No? So yung behavior, again, I have to repeat this because this is a very important factor. No? The patient is suffering from depression, apathetic, social withdrawal na ba siya? There could be mood swings, sometimes smiling, sometimes happy, and sometimes angry, distrust to other people, irritability, madaling magalit, and then changes in sleeping habits, no? Gabi gising, umaga tulog, no? And loss of inhibition, meaning mag-urinate sila or defecate at any time, or there could be also delusion. So again, I have to repeat, these are important parameters to come up with a diagnosis of Alzheimer's to differentiate from your senile dementia.
Mm-hmm. So, Doctor, you mentioned, for example, depression and social withdrawal. These are very common among some elderly populations. So, paano mag-differentiate between, mental illness like depression or Alzheimer's?
Well, it could be a CT scan could also be a measure, no? And then of course yung chronic condition. What do you mean by chronic condition? All the time nangyayari yun. Unlike yung depression, and depression could only be temporary. But if they are given some medication by psychiatrists, they improve. So necessarily it can be Alzheimer. Meaning, if the patient had that symptoms and was treated by a psychiatrist, nag-improve, chances are hindi siya Alzheimer's disease.
Okay. So, Doc, we had a question here from Venus. So, Venus, I believe the question's gone now, but Venus was asking, is Alzheimer's curable or is it a lifelong disease when someone has it?
Well, I would say it is not 100% curable, but you can retard. What do you mean by retard? Pababagalin ang pagdating ng further complications or symptoms. That's the best description I can give. There is no specific treatment right now for Alzheimer's.
Okay. Doc, we have another question here from Shane who says, mas prone po ba ang mga babae sa Alzheimer's disease?
I tried to research on that, no, pero there's no much difference. Walang masyadong significant difference between male and female.
Okay. So hindi naman siya risk factor yung sex?
Babae, lalaki. No. But rather the highest risk factor is the age. Mas tumatanda, mas lumalaki ang risk. Yeah.
Okay. So Doc, I wanted to go back to one of your points regarding yung aluminum, because you said that aluminum deposits is also a big indicator of whether ang pasyente may Alzheimer's or not. So can you explain to
Oo.
us a bit more
Oo.
anong
Well,
relationship?
oo. Oo. Well, from the pag ginawa yung autopsy, no, there are three substances they found out commonly deposited on the brain. These are aluminum, at the same time zinc also nakita nila, no. Now they tried to see bakit nagkaganon as they compared kung ano yung pattern ng lifestyle before and as compared yung mga nagkaroon na pasyente. Although it still remain inconclusive. Like yung saan nanggagaling yung aluminum. It is a chemical, no, ginagamit as substrate for deodorant at as well as antacid and then yung mga cooking wares. What do you mean cooking wares? Kasi ang ginagamit na dating yung pakpak ng eroplano which is purely aluminum. Yun ang ginagamit before. So they correlate that with that. In natural medicine, that's highly significant as they say so. Kaya nga, one proof of that is that kapag nag-autopsy, how come mataas ang aluminum deposit on their brain? Kaya they correlate with that. Although it still remain to be inconclusive. They haven't any final conclusion about it.
Okay. So, Doc, kung may Alzheimer's ba yung lola ko or my lolo, may hope pa ba? Because you said that it can be partially managed. So, ano ba yung treatment?
Well, unang-una, you can give them some mental exercise, no? Particularly activities, particularly the use of food supplements, and then you have to stimulate them always. What do you mean stimulate always? Try to talk to them. Although, minsan, stupor sila eh. Kaya nakadiretso lang ang tingin pagkatapos di ka nakakausap. Pero, naririnig ka nila. Pero hindi nila alam kung paano mag-respond. No? Supplements like B-complex, common naman yan, ginagamit lecithin, Bacopa monnieri, which is good for the memory, ginkgo biloba, which is also good for the memory, and then I was surprised, anthocyanin sinasabi din is very, very good, particularly for if you want to prevent na hindi ka dumating sa Alzheimer's or kaya even for the memory itself, kung medyo napapansin, humihina na yung memory ko, you can take yung organic acid berry because it's very, very rich in anthocyanin.
Okay, Doc. So I think those are very important points for all of us. And then my question ba here from Gian. So Gian says, "Hi, Doc and Luisa. Does memory loss automatically mean that you have Alzheimer's?"
No. There could be only temporary loss of memory. It can be traumatic. Not necessarily all the time. Pag sinabi memory loss is Alzheimer's already. No.
Okay. So, Doc, how do I prevent Alzheimer's? Do I take the same, supplements like you were saying, anthocyanins and ginkgo, same treatments, ba? Or different measures of preventing it?
Although there are some what you call ethical drugs which are being prescribed for Alzheimer's disease para to prevent yung symptoms. Pero it does not sabihin nating stop the disease itself, no? But rather the symptoms ay medyo malilesen yung pag-progress na mas mabilis, no? So other measures we can do, regular exercise particularly, no? You have to lower the blood sugar, cardiovascular problem, which has something to do with the circulation, diabetes, obesity, and high blood pressure, and then keeping the brain active throughout life. Like yung, ako natutuwa even in China, makikita mo nasa park yung mga naglalaro sila chess, mga dama, mga different kinds of games, no? Pag nagkakaedad, even yung paggaganchilyo, pag sabihin natin yung yung gumagawa ng mga straw stitch, no? That can help to stimulate the brain. Or even right now, accessible naman sila sa computer, that can also help. Makakatulong din, those kind of activities.
That's why, Doc, it's very, parang my stereotype na the grandmas are like knitting or doing the crochet.
Yes. Oh, do you know how to do that, crochet?
I did it before
That's
in
for
high
the old
school.
people. I see.
But in high school, I did that. Okay. So, how else do we prevent
Yes,
Alzheimer's, Doc?
So Sorry.
Doc, I think you cut off. I think you were saying
Hello.
something about how else we can prevent Alzheimer's.
Ah, hello. Hello.
Yes, Doc.
Sa kanila yan. I'm sorry, I didn't get your question. Yeah.
So may
What
ibang
was your
methods
question
ba to
that you were
prevent?
asking?
Sir. Yes, Doc. So may ibang methods ba to prevent Alzheimer's?
I'm trying. Well, actually, it should be a balanced lifestyle, particularly mental, emotional,
Mhm.
physical. Even your yoga or meditation, kasi it also involves concentration, focusing. So it can really help, no?
Mhm.
So there should always be a balance of physical as well as mental activities. It will work. And of course, anything that has something to do related with the concentration. Katulad ng kapag kulang ka sa tulog, that can also detrimental for your body, no? Kapag kulang ka sa pagkain, hindi ka masyado nakakakain ng nutritious na pagkain, or in our generation right now, it's a must that we should take different kinds of food supplements. So ideally nga, you can take organic acai berry kasi aside from the memory it can give, it also helps particularly to improve the circulation of your body and even the brain. And that's the action of anthocyanin. I'm thinking, kaya nagkakaroon ng atrophy yung ating brain kung kulang niya sa circulation at nutrients.
Mm-hmm. So, I think, Doc, with all lifestyle-related diseases, ang lifestyle talaga has to be balanced in order to prevent everything, no?
Yes.
It's really,
Yes.
yes, prevention is better than cure.
Mm.
Yes. So, Doc, I wanted to test our audience if they were listening. So, we have a new segment this week. It's called Wellness Facts and Myths. So, our first statement, and our audience, you will comment, please comment, one, and then fact or myth. So, the first question here, or the first statement is Alzheimer's disease is fatal. Wellness fact or myth ba ito?
Well, I would say well, I would say it is a fact kasi lalo na kasi high risk nila to hygiene. Oo, so I would say it is fatal. Talagang kapag meron kang Alzheimer's disease, talagang palaging may isang taong nakatutok sa kanila. They don't even know what they're doing. Baka biglang lumabas ng bahay, masagasaan. So things like that, accidents, they are very prone to those kinds of accidents.
So it's not na fatal kasi yung brain nila is gonna shut down. It's really fatal kasi more of the care sa bahay.
Yeah. Yes. Alam mo kaya, Luisa, ang kawawa dyan yung caregiver. Kasi you have to be 24 hours watching ang Alzheimer's patient. No? Kailangan mag-shift sila. You cannot tell what will happen next. No? And there are cases na, I tell you, there are cases na they are even aggressive, or there are cases na they are even dull. You cannot really ascertain what will be the next reaction of Alzheimer's patient. So it's a fact.
It's challenging. It's challenging, and kudos to all of the caretakers out there, the caregivers.
Yes.
So, Doc, moving on to our next statement. Our next statement here is only older people get Alzheimer's. So, mga audience, wellness fact or myth ba ito? Comment down.
I would say
Number
it is
2, fact or myth?
I would say it is a myth. Why? Why? Kasi kung makikita mo, I have mentioned about the sedentary lifestyle. Ito nga yung mga activity, lalo nang naka-lockdown tayo, yung mga obesity, lack of exercise, walang ginagawa, napapabayaan ng diabetes all the time. Lahat yan. And then they found out also na hindi lang matatanda nagkakaroon ng Alzheimer's. Even the younger age ay maaaring magkaroon. Marami din kasing cases na even below 40 meron ng diabetes, meron ng hypertension. And these are already risk factors for them. So it is a myth. Even the younger can have it. In fact, we can say it can even be multiplied later. Mari pang dumami siya.
Oh, wow. It's kind of scary. But
Yeah.
okay. So it's a very good tidbit for us to know. So number 3, Doc. I think this is a bit tricky in my opinion, because you did
Yes.
say that it does have a relation to aluminum. So drinking out of aluminum cans or cooking in aluminum pots and pans can lead to Alzheimer's disease. Fact ba ito or myth? So comment
You know,
3 dot fact or myth.
I cannot tell you directly the answer. Kasi about 20, 30 years ago, it came out already na yung particularly in the field of natural medicine, aluminum, when it deposits in the brain, can cause Alzheimer's disease. But now, they're not telling exactly, even at this generation, 20, 30 years ago, it still remain inconclusive, no? Pero just anyway, it's up to you kung what you want to do, no? Pero ang sources natin ng aluminum, particularly sa Pilipino, kung gumagamit po tayo ng dutuan, mga kaserolang made of ng pakpak ng eroplano, which is made up of aluminum. Pangalawa, kung tayo nag-iihaw using aluminum foil. Pangatlo, paggamit natin ng deodorant, meron yung aluminum, even some delicatessen, even mga antacid, meron din yung component ng aluminum. So, pwede ba tayong to live without it, without using those materials? So, it's up to you, para hindi tayo magkaroon. Just to play safe. That's what I mean, no? Kasi it's still inconclusive. They cannot tell. They are saying right now that upon autopsy of Alzheimer's patient, nakita mataas nga ang concentration ng aluminum within the brain. So they're asking, saan nanggagaling doon? So, because our body cannot produce its own aluminum. Kaya it can be external source. So I did not answer you directly, Luisa.
I think inconclusive is the secret trick answer, Doc.
Yes.
Up to you whether it's a fact or myth. Okay, so number 3. Number 4. Number 4, the statement is memory loss is a natural part of aging. So fact ba ito or myth? So comment 4 dot fact or myth.
I would say it could be a fact for the reason kasi lahat naman kapag nagkakaedad ay talagang nagde-deteriorate, no? Although, alam mo, there are instances at the age of 90, sharp ang memory nila, no? Why? Kasi marami silang mental exercises that they've been doing nung bata sila until the end. At the age of 90, walang ginawa, kundi araw-araw magbabasa pa ng radyo, ng dyaryo, o nag-chess. Those are mental exercise, or nagko-crossword puzzle, 90 years old, no? So the more you exercise your brain, your mental capacity, mas magiging maganda ang memory mo. Pero, I mentioned also earlier, those people after the retirement who do not do anything, mas bumababa ang memory.
All right.
So
okay, it doesn't necessarily mean kung hindi lang siya like death sentence for Alzheimer's if you have memory loss. It just means aging.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 5 on our last fact or myth is Alzheimer's disease is costly. Fact ba ito or myth?
Luisa, my answer for that is yes na yes. Kasi I mentioned earlier na ang isang Alzheimer's patient, you cannot live by himself or herself. There should always be a caregiver palaging nagbabantay. In fact, yun ang mas napupunta yung gastos sa caregiver unless talagang relative ka. Pero even your relative, how much time nawawala mo instead of doing other activities. So it's really a fact. And of course, pag nagtitake ka ng mga supplements or medications, although sinasabi natin ang medication is not a complete cure, it will help only para ma-retard yung mabilis na pag-progress ng Alzheimer's. So it's a fact.
Okay. Okay, Doc, thank you. So I saw we had a lot of good answers for our wellness fact or myth segment. I think it went really well, especially, with some of our trick questions there, Doc. So while this segment has come to a close, ano ba yung takeaways, Doc, regarding Alzheimer's?
Ano yun, sorry?
Ano ba
Hindi
yung
intend.
takeaways mo?
Takeaway, okay. Well, pinaka-importante
Mhm.
because not only for Alzheimer's, no, but any kind of disease, whether you're suffering or on prevention, the best thing is you have to have the balance of activity. What do you mean by balance of activity? Ang pagkain natin should always be moderate, not so much of mga junk foods. Sorry to say, pero marami ngayon nag-order na lang tayo ng food, no? Pangalawa, you should also balance it with the proper exercise, not only physically but also mentally. We should have also enough rest, particularly ang rest ng iba, natutulog and then meron silang relaxation, anti-stress like marami ngayong plantitos and plantitas. Alam mo that can help. Nakaka-help for them to stimulate their physical well-being as well as their brain. No? So those are the things. And then of course, right now, at this point, I really recommend na hindi pwede ang generation natin walang food supplement. You should always have some any form of food supplement. Na, like ngayon, maraming nagtitake of vitamin C because panglaban ng coronavirus. No? Pero in general, I would say you can take a complete vitamins and minerals just like pagtitake ng organic acid because it has the cleansing effect, marami siyang antioxidant, nourishing effect, and meron siyang pampaganda ng immune circulation.
Okay, thank you, Doc. And I agree. It's really about a whole balanced lifestyle. And I think my biggest takeaway, Doc, is yung mental exercise. We talk about a balanced lifestyle being healthy diet, healthy exercise, but we don't talk about yung mental exercise. I think, with this pandemic, most of us are just sitting around watching Netflix.
Yeah.
Parang walang exercise naman yung brains. Yeah, so it's very important for us to also focus on that aspect of our life. Okay, Doc, so I think parang frozen yung camera. But I think, Doc, when you come back on, that will help us. Yeah, okay, there we are. Doc, so now that you're back on, I would just like to say thank
Yeah.
you for
Thank
coming
you.
here on this show, for being with us today. I know it's really rainy, and then
Yeah. Mm.
issues with the rain. Thank you. So again, Doc, in the next coming week.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I think all connection just cut off there. But anyways, for very difficult today, with every single time, the internet always in the summer. So thank you for the information. So speaking of friends, we're talking about the ways to prevent Alzheimer's. Okay, so I think I cut off there. So I would like to invite you to become one of our official direct sellers here on Olani PH. So Olani is the official direct selling platform of our Organique Acai products, as well as other brands like Mestiza and Nua Organics. So if you love the product and you want to share it with your friends, then we invite you to, share the health, spread the wealth. And if you haven't tried it yet, then you can check us out here on our sales. So we have here our 6/6 mid-year sale on both Shopee and Lazada. Lots of discounts waiting for you there. So you can check out whatever product you want, whatever discount you want. So that being the end of our episode, I just want to announce today's winners for the game. So a little drum roll. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I actually forgot to announce the answer. So the answer is acai coffee. Now the drum roll. Dun, 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 dun. So it's going to be a really long drum roll. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Gift pack are Leslie Ann Kamet Lucernas, Pam Molino, Rachel Ann Cianzon, Aisel Mayo, Chris Ivan Panganiban. So congrats to all our winners. You will get to win this 30 pieces bottle of the acai freeze-dried capsules. Now, I hope this will start you on your prevention to Alzheimer's, as well as live a healthier and more meaningful lifestyle. So that brings us again to today's episodes. If you have any inquiries, we invite you to check us out on our social media pages and contact any of the numbers below. So thank you for joining us in this episode of Wellness Wednesday, and I hope to see you again next week.
Wellness Wednesdays with Organique. We care because you matter.